How to put on the headset. And we're live. Hex Foodies live stream every Tuesday at noon Central. I'm out at Wheaton Labs. That's Montana, outside of Missoula. Paul Wheaton is running this place. It's 200 acres off grid and another 20 acres that's close to the town. I just opened up these guys and there's no cord. Well, that's silly. That's really silly. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, there is a cord. Because I'm so rushed right now trying to set up this stuff. Do you have sound? Please tell me in the chat if there's sound. I see a carrot in chat. Potatoes. Welcome Facing Reality. Welcome Bitfinesse, Turin, Sonic Pulse, Terrafin. Welcome, welcome. Sounds good. Thank you very much. So Paul has 20 acres close to the road, and that's where I am right now. And so I'm in a place called the library. It's a place where everybody can come and go. Everybody has cubbies. There's Wi-Fi. Yo, yo, Hextoshi, Paul Davies. Welcome, welcome. Paul Davies looks like he's a Australian. I think Finbear said that he was going to join. Set that volume up. Okay, I can hear myself now. Okay, so have you guys checked out the t.me/hexfoodies chat? I've been posting some pictures of what I've been helping out Oren with, and then Rogue Herbalist met me down there in Navajo Nation, and we had a nice hike. One day we hiked because we got exhausted. We basically called it quits after one day, and then they went on for another day, possibly another 2 days, getting those sheep up to the higher land. But there was a bit of a celebration once we got from the lower land across the valley up to a nice cooler spot. There were some family members that were up there, and so they were taking pictures and all sorts of things. Huge burger and watermelon festival. It was a really cool time. And also what was neat about it was there was a guy there to take photographs for a Arizona Wide magazine, and he hiked with us. He was a little bit older, but he definitely lived the rugged lifestyle. And there was one person in the Navajo tribe that was there to document the experience by doing a write-up. So what was happening was well documented because we were along the paths of their sacred paths and what their grandfathers had done. And so we went from the dilapidated hogans. Those are those hexagonal shaped stacking of wood. So it would be their hexagonal log cabins with I think there would be like mud on the outside, but all the mud had gone and the things had fallen in on themselves. And the idea is they don't know if anybody had died inside of those hogans, so they aren't allowed to enter those hogans and use them for their own. So we went from that space over two ridges, which was very tedious. And I was wondering, like, why didn't we just stay in the river valley? And then we went across a few valleys, and underneath a road. And the sheep were, oh my gosh, the sheep were getting so tired, and they wouldn't close their mouth. They were, you start to see a sheep go, oh, oh. And then like there was this cute young straggler in the back that was like towards his mother, like everyone was, and then they would keep trying to go underneath. Once they got tired, like in the beginning, everything was great, but once they got tired, they started confusing the dogs for their leaders in the sheep, because they all just follow each other. And so if they followed a dog underneath a tree, then they might like all try to like get underneath that shade. And at a point, like Benjamin and a few other people were putting the sheep like either holding them like this and walking with them for a little ways to give them a little bit of rest. But oh my gosh, those sheep must have been really heavy. I didn't dare pick up any of them because there were 73 of them, and it was their property.
Yeah. Were they grown up? Were the
Young,
sheep like all grown up or young ones?
varying ranges.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought some like they
Are
were
you
just
loud?
under.
Chat, is he loud
Can you hear me
or
okay?
too much? I'm
Oh,
wondering if I need to turn mine up or yours down.
come on, Markavelli. You're the audio guy. Stop talking amongst yourselves and please answer the question. Sir, how's the
Marcavelli,
audio? Is
welcome.
it horrible?
Daraj, welcome.
Paul Davies, sir, good to see
Yo
you.
yo.
Oh, I'm just closer to the mic, so that's it.
Turin, did you give us an acorn, a potato, and a carrot? That's what that is?
That's
In
what
the
it looks
field.
like, yeah.
If you
Yup.
guys check out the t.me/ hey Red Squirrel, t.me/ Hex Foodies chat, you'll see all the images that I've been posting. I froze my ass off last night. Like, do you sleep when you shiver? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, you
45
poor
degrees in a
guys.
tent. I need
45.
to.
How much is that in like metric? That's pretty nippy.
Is it my fault for not knowing Celsius or your fault for not knowing Fahrenheit?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why like this all this Celsius stuff is so focused on water, which is weird. Like once water freezes, that's it, and then when it's like boiling, that's 100, and that's like me. It feels
Zeros.
very arbitrary.
So I think we need to adopt y'all's style. In definitely, yeah, all together. I like the system of tens and hundreds.
I don't know, man. I've been watching a lot of carpenter videos and all of those 5/8 and quarter inches and all that stuff makes a lot of sense, and I'm seriously considering if I wanna, maybe pick that up because it makes just like dividing stuff faster, and it sometimes makes the workflow so much quicker because you don't have to think about like these weird decimal places. And a
Bit
third is
finesse.
always
Mhm.
a third is always a third, so it's way more precise way to inform of like a ratio than 0.33.
I agree with
Because if you
you. Yeah.
because if you take 3 times 0.33, you still have 0.99, so you're lacking the whole. But if you have a third and a third and a third, that's the whole thing. So sometimes it's more precise.
Yeah, and nothing's perfect, right?
Yeah,
So that's something we got to get across our heads.
yeah.
Okay, so I rotated my mic, and I
So
think
you,
that's a lot better.
it is, yeah.
What
So
up?
you guys got tired.
Yes.
It was
About
freaking hard.
so really, like, as a what crow flies, we went 15 miles or something like that. But
Mm.
uh like you're going this way zigzaggedy. So I
Yeah,
swear
yeah.
we went at least 22 miles. And we got to 2 resting places, and those were watering holes for the sheep, but yet they weren't watering holes for us. And so the some people that were related to Ben, um, his in-laws, they came around with the truck and had like Gatorade and snacks, and they were really high quality snacks. It was awesome. But it was absolute necessity at that point. Like we were fucking finished.
Mm.
And I swear, Rogue Herbalist wanted to stop a few times. I hope he's listening, but I hope he's not pissed off about that. Like we were chatting in the back, right? And everybody else was outpacing us, and then came harder times to where we were trying to keep up. And then the sheep started falling back a bit, so it was easier to keep up. But Rogue has military in his background, and everybody I know who is general issue military has freaking worn out their knees. The military's
Mm.
thank you, military. You did this to us when we were early 20s, and now that we're in our 40s, we have to suffer. That's for my brother-in-law. That's for Rogue. That's for a lot of people I know.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
Army, and that's
Army fucked
Marines.
up my hearing, but that was just my stupidity. Yeah, I got like, yeah,
I don't
some
need plugs.
stuff. Yeah, some stuff blew up pretty close to me, and I wasn't wearing any like hearing protection, and I got like this tinnitus thing. That's probably what you call it, where
I
your
don't know
ears
that.
ring, and it's like a constant,
Ugh.
like somebody hits like a one of those tuning forks, and boom, and it rings in your head all the time. Boom. So yeah, if I'm somewhere where it's really noisy, and then I get into my car or something, I get that freaking humming for the rest of the day.
The rest of
And
the day it
sometimes it's,
resets after a while.
yeah, yeah, and
I went
and
to a
it's
concert
difficult.
and was concerned once, and I waited a weekend and it was okay. And I don't like hurting myself, so I learned from these things.
Oh yeah,
Tonight,
if you damage your ears, they like that never comes back.
Daraj says it's tinnitus,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So
he's a doctor.
I should have gone to like the medic's tent after the thing and told them that, hey, some shit blew up next to us and I wasn't wearing anything and my ears are ringing. They would have taken me with an ambulance. They would have brought me like 300 kilometers over here into a military facility where I would have been in a high pressure oxygen tank for like a day and a half
So that the
to prevent the damage in my ears.
so that those little hair follicles inside would go the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how that works. All I know is like it was either ringing in my ears for a day or so, or being in a oxygen tank, or like a container or whatever. Even if it's just a room with and you can't get out for a day, felt like a long time. I was like, nah, not gonna do it, which was a like a great move for a 20-year-old guy. But now that I'm like 40 plus, wouldn't mind hearing a bit. So thanks a lot, younger me.
Marcavelli, welcome to the show.
Hello, Marcavelli, Mr. Man. How's it going?
What up? Good. Just wanted to hop on. I'm glad you dropped the link. Love you guys.
Thank you for
Yeah,
joining us. Appreciate you.
thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, it's
I've
rainy and cold here.
yeah,
And
it's
so
really warm over here.
Oren, who I'm helping out on his 1 acre plot up on the 200 acres that's detached from the grid, um, he has postponed us working with clay slip straw today because he was like, "Yeah, if we get cold, we're not going to get warm again." So we're gonna hold off until it's a little bit more sunny. Hopefully that'll happen soon. But so we're putting up a beam. I was peeling more logs for them. That's with like a long pike like thing with a flat end. Yeah, you know all about that stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
fun.
if you catch them at different times, if it's dried out, then it's not too fun. But
or when
if
the sap
bugs
is rising, when the
but
sap is rising.
if bugs ate that sap, then you could have like basically a soil material between the bark and the log, and that could help you out as well. So that was a situation that I experienced yesterday. But this morning I started peeling a little bit of logs, and we started setting up he calls it a bandsaw, a portable bandsaw that works on battery operation. Oren is a smart fucker. He's got the best solar setup and plans to continue developing his solar setups. And so he's got like 2 already. And then he's got another one set up for a well nearby. There are 2 wells on the 200 acres up there. Paul Wheaton is the guy that you want to talk to if you want to know how much the rent is per year. I think it's between $1,200 and $800. Up front, and he works like a dictator. So you got to know how this guy runs. He's got plenty of podcasts. So if he rubs you the wrong way in the podcasts, then come here and try it out, and then fuck off. But they've been getting so much rain that everything is so much greener than what I had experienced previously. And also, last time I was here, he was like, "Hey, we're right at the point of what is that where momentum, like we're right at the point where we're
like the precipice.
You're trying to run a thing, and now it starts to run itself, and so it's starting to pick up on its own. It's wonderful,
so
because
tell me
there are all
about
these little things, like before this was such a rugged place, and I'm starting to see it soften and soften.
What about the Hugel Mounts? Tell me about the Hugel Mounts.
They're beautiful. They're completely green. They've last year they planted a lot of trees into them. They had dry stack rocks to hold the soil where it is that they put the trees. They increased the amount of scaffolding, where you're leaning the logs up against it and notching out the logs that are leaning vertically, so that you have a log to walk on. So there's so many more of them. And then whenever it is that new boots come out, boots is where you learn and get fed for your work, and housed as well. And then you're also working into a time period where, like, if you spend 3 or 4 months as a boot, then you get free rent for the year out on the 20 acres. So imagine spending the winter here being a boot, and then whenever you can go work on your own plot out there, you have the freedom to do so. But you don't get to eat in the kitchen if you're out there, because you're not working for the other part. You get that. So what I'm trying to say is that there are more boots, and they have more responsibility, or they have their little divided area of responsibility. So that's quite interesting to see how each one of them uniquely looks at things.
Is this out in Arizona? Is this where you're at?
No. So there are 2 different situations that I've been talking about, because I'm on the road, right? So Arizona, northern Arizona, was the Navajo Nation with Benjamin Mutton in our group. And then, so we were doing a sheep herding thing where we were taking the sheep from or through the paths of their grandfathers. And then Ben had completed that yesterday, and was getting on the road to coming up. Me and Rogue Herbalist had quit that after 1 day. And I was actually preserving my body, because I was afraid that, like, driving another 16 hours north and then coming up here and working for Oren was going to be a problem. So I got up here to outside of Missoula, Montana. That's where I am right now, and that's why it's so cold. And they've just been experiencing a more wet June than usual.
All right. I've had an interesting day today because it was just by chance that I happened to drive next to a house that really caught my attention because of a couple of things. The dude had huge piles of firewood. He had a tractor, he had a tractor trailer, and I saw that he had one of them log picker upper claw things that goes to the back of his tractor. And I was like, dude, it looks like somebody lives in that house who I want to talk to, because like everybody knows I got all the logs spread across my yard like one of those pick up sticks games. So I drive up to the fella's house. He's building a boat. I was like, this dude is right up my alley. He's like in his late 50s maybe, and turns out this is a small country. We know a lot of the same people, and he would like to saw some of the birch logs that I have. Like I told you, they're pretty massive, and because they grew next to the yard, they're straight like a spike, and they don't have any branches on the lower part of the trunk, so they're perfect if you want to build. Hey dude, have you been forked, man?
I got a doppelganger
So-
or a twin.
Yeah, you gotta kill that guy.
Let's try this shit.
Only one of you can survive. That's weird that it didn't boot the other account.
No, it's because it's my cell phone.
Different account or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man.
I'll go
I gotta change
increase
my
my
camera.
size screen, huh?
Yeah, you gotta put
Were
yourself.
you done with your story?
Yeah, pretty much. So the guy's gonna come and we're gonna set up the logs with his like the claw, and I'm gonna get him to help me arrange the hugel mounts in a nice way. But also I'm gonna get some like proper lumber out of it.
What are the hugel mounts for?
You're gonna see them once Davin goes out.
Oh, he's gonna
yeah.
show
Well,
some.
tell them what they're for.
Well, a hugel mound is basically you sort of mimic the forest floor by covering a lot of wood under soil, and then that's wood starts to decompose, and it turns into basically like a sponge or like a feeding ground for different kinds of mushrooms and beneficial insects and stuff.
How far
and
underneath the soil do you put that?
you don't have to
wood?
go you don't have to actually go underground. You can go above ground and make it easier. See, Davin is standing next to a pile that has a huge amount of wood inside, like under those logs.
That's
Like
just
a
like
big
wood chips, like
no
or
like
ground up,
lumber,
or
round lumber, like trees and
logs?
big limbs. Yeah.
Is that just to that's to grow mushrooms?
No,
Or-
that's just to give the opportunity for different kinds of like it just gives biology a chance to do its thing, because like a forest grows on a fallen forest, and if you want to grow like fruit trees or something, there's nothing better to grow a fruit tree on than a pile of decomposing wood.
It's a lot of
So,
fucking wood.
so the growing plants can grow their roots into those rotting logs under the ground, and they're basically like a sponge for the living plants on top. So you never have to water those plants, and those hugel mounds suck up a lot of the snow melt, and a lot of the rainfall gets absorbed into those mounds without any effort.
So it could be like a timed release watering mechanism as
basically
well
like a battery for your
for
water
your
that flows on
soil.
your yard. Yeah,
That's fucking awesome.
yeah,
I've got like I don't know if you guys remember I was telling you that I was cutting down some trees on the tree day. I think Hex was at
yeah,
like a 19.5 cents or whatever. But
yeah.
I told you it was just like a handful of trees. It ended up being like 3,500 trees. So I've
Wow.
got like I've got just like a ton of lumber. So
Yeah.
I definitely got some ammunition to build one of them things if
Oh yeah, you could
I
build like
understood it.
yeah, you could build hundreds and hundreds of feet of that.
So
I'm
there's two
building one.
different Hoogles right here. There's one over
Yeah.
there and one over there.
Can you walk between those? Is there like a roadway or a path or
Yeah.
something between
Yeah, I
them?
can.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at these geese inside this pen. This pen is meant to protect some Seppholzer grain, and then they put some geese in it as well, or maybe the far pens, the Holzer grain.
Maybe the grain is already gone and the geese is the
These
only thing
hey,
that's left.
this is the first wild. This is the first domesticated life that they've had on the property. This is the first manure situation.
Really?
Yeah, and this is the first time for me to see it, so it's taken that while.
So they've not had cows on the property or sheep or anything.
On the 200 acres, they had cows. One time, they had dogs, ducks, cats. Oh, there are cats here, by the way, and they eat insects.
Yeah.
You teach them to eat insects. You say, you start out with a little bit of feed. You say, here, kitty, 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 feed them, and then after a while, switch it over to here, kitty, 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 here's a grasshopper. And then once the grasshoppers start hopping around, they actually go and pounce on them. It's really interesting.
That's awesome.
What do you want to see on the Hoogles?
I don't know. I just like to put my hand into it, man. I just want to see like
This is a wonderful
that's
comfrey.
comfrey. Yeah. So what does the
so it's more
what does the ground look like? Is it like dead plant material from last year? If you look closer to the roots, not on the ground, like on the mound.
Oh.
the ground on the mound, the difference between like how's
Is
the
it
texture,
like
all that.
that's like dead plant material from last year, or is
Plus
that plus all the
some
stuff you put
brought
up there?
in hay and some wood. It looks like it's just bark, actually. So it's probably some of the leftovers of skinning these logs.
Yeah, cool. So
Yeah.
I got all that stuff at home. That's freaking perfect. And you walk along those
all those
logs.
logs, they're just
Okay, so
full logs. They're not
there's scaffolding.
Like,
There's scaffolding
Okay.
put on the outside, and that's the logs that you see. The logs that are on the inside need to be there needs to be a soil layer covering them, because the moisture otherwise would wick out of the logs and out of the whole system. So you want to completely you want to have your linear mound with all types of variations of log thicknesses and wood bits, and then you go and you stack your soil on top of that and completely cover it. And that system is your battery charge system, where fungi will grow in there. It'll keep your water in there, and plant roots can get into it. But to stabilize the exterior of the soil, then you would add other things, like your hay and your mulch in this instance. And then in order to have paths upon the steep slopes, like right now, that thing behind me is at like 14 or 16 feet. It was a bitch to put these scaffolding up there. But anyway, to have it to where there's a path up there, there's scaffolding. But this one that I'm looking at right over here, there's actually a path with no scaffolding. Did that explain it?
Yeah. So you don't walk you don't walk over it because there isn't that much soil covering the wood material. So you don't want to start a pathway where like rainwater can start washing the side off or something if people walk on it carelessly. But once it's full of roots and stuff, of course it's gonna stay together. It's not going anywhere. But that's several years in the making.
This is probably a hugel mound in the making, and they haven't yet stacked soil over the top of it.
Perfect, because that just looks like a bunch of branches.
Yeah, pretty much it is. Yeah, you just
So
want to
you
have
want-
enough soil in there so that it doesn't
When-
become a nest for some animal.
When you introduce the soil, then you're inoculating the log and you're getting the process going. And so yeah, I'm walking.
Inoculating. That's a good word.
Yeah,
I'm walking on the steep path right now.
that is very steep, but it's easy to pick. Like imagine standing next to it. It's very steep and it gets up to like your face height. So if there's something edible growing on it, you don't have to kneel down to pick it up. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
So you
it's
do wanna,
right
like-
here at my hip.
And you've got it like set up. Looks like it'd be blocking the wind and stuff too.
Yeah,
That's
and
the thing.
yeah,
It
and
hides
if
you from your neighbors, and it
perfect.
Yeah.
it hides you from the noise from the road.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Y'all
Don't fall.
don't clip that
Do
one.
not-
That was me.
Do not fall.
That was me going, oh shit. That was my oh shit face.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I need to build some of them for sure. I've got like 5 acres here, and I've got a bunch of brush piling up. Now I know what to do with it.
Yeah. So you wanna station them in a way that if there's water coming down your property, you wanna have them arranged in a way where every mound stops all the water and then slowly lets it pass by it. Once it sort of
funnels it out,
once it
maybe.
spreads it out evenly, and then there's like next mounts underneath it collecting it again.
This is called junk pole fence, where
we've got similar.
where you've got a few horizontals that make it to where these verticals stay in place. And so you don't need a fastener for each of the verticals. Instead, they're sort of just corralled between the front and back horizontals.
Yeah. We have these traditional fences where it looks pretty much similar, but it doesn't take nearly as much material to make a functioning fence.
You got any non-fastener designs for porches or decks?
Yeah, they're pretty much like Japanese inspired. Like you would probably need like wooden pegs or something, but you can build a frame for a deck or like an outside kitchen. You can build a frame without any fasteners for sure.
So we use probably those hex head screws on everything, but we get pretty innovative about like balancing weight. So here's an example. The ground is too hard to put a post in. So these are called rock jacks, I believe, where there's a surface right here that you weigh down with rocks, and then it's a tripod situation, and that
So
keeps your
everything
post
is leaning.
vertical.
Everything is leaning against those logs there.
Yeah.
Or the logs are leaning against
You've got
the
2
rocks.
feet. You got a
Yeah,
foot here and a foot there, and then you've
Yeah.
got the center points of where the post is rising.
Yeah.
And then the weight of those rocks, because there's a deck right there, the weight of those rocks keeps everything in place because I can't get a post in the ground right here.
Yeah. So it's that rocky.
It's too hard. That's cool.
That's pretty freaking
I'm running
awesome,
out of
man.
batteries, so I'm going to run down to the shop real fast, show you that, and then run back up to the library. If I go out, you guys just keep talking, or you know what happened.
Yeah. If you never see me again, you know
So it
what
just so
went
happens
down,
that
man.
it just so happens that I came during a PDC, permaculture design course. So there's quite a few visitors on the property right now. A lot of them are return visitors. A lot of them are young males. It's pretty interesting. It's very lively. I'm able to connect with quite a few. Let's see. And so I'm preparing you for like the people you're about to see, if it is that we run across a lot of them. But there's a shop here. And so we do experience the tool burn. That means like where there's an inexperienced person using a tool for the first time and destroys it. I thought of you, Finbear. Here's a mound halfway to the shop. It's potato. It's growing potatoes there. It's brand new.
Nice. Is that like is that only is that like wooden material, the whole mound, or is it like dirt and everything else?
That is a very good question. I'm not sure. That was an experimental mound where they connected a rocket stove to it, and were seeing if they could have a heated mound, controlled temperature mound. Behind me is the famous berm shed. The
I've
berm
seen
shed
that
is
one.
where you're blocking yourself from the road and neighbors, but you're also creating storage underneath for yourself. This thing has been so complicated that it's been reconstructed 3 times, I think. But
Yeah. They
it's
got it working
amazing
now.
and spacious.
Yeah. And they got it
Look at how
working now.
spacious this thing is.
Yeah.
There's so much storage depth, and it's nice and neat and organized because the boots keep it clean. But you can
Yeah.
imagine how things could go wrong on the backside of this, where there's pressure being pushed up against these walls, and then you got to have these
Yeah,
posts,
everything
these
wants to rack
joints,
in. Yeah.
a good
Everything wants to rack
connection there.
towards you. Yeah. That looks pretty sweet. A little bit Japanese inspired, perhaps. It looked like it, like there's the short one and then the longer beams on top.
I think all the discussion happens on the Permies forum, permies.com, Permies.
Yeah. I think
Here's
I'm a
a
member, actually, thanks to you.
so whenever they're hosting, right, you to get the freebies, you had to create a username, Finbear.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So whenever they hold events, then it's the classroom is here through this door inside the shop, and the kitchen to wash your plate is outside. Like the just this convenience of washing your plate. All the real cooking goes on inside the main house, and so the next thing to do would be like an outdoor kitchen, so that there's a separation between the main house and all the people, all the like the workers, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's
Hey,
see.
Dr. Morey wants to know the important thing. Have you discussed hex with all these young men you spoke about?
Oh yeah, of course. And then actually,
Good man,
Paul,
good man.
whenever I came here and said, hey, I'll be around for 5 days or whatever, he and I were in the office, and he had a Bitcoin chart up on his computer, and he was like, so I'm wondering if I should buy more Bitcoin because Bitcoin's down right now. So he's actually talking to me about crypto and taking advice, and I'm just like, hey, this guy, and he's like, yeah, your guy, Richard Hart, and I'm like, yeah, this guy, he he said this, and we think this, and so so start following
the
him.
Bitcoin top.
Yeah, so I'm not, I'm not an authority, and I'm not going to act like it, and so like Paul's starting to ask questions, and so that's wonderful.
That's awesome. Are we gonna
But
get to
yes,
say hi to him? I see you have
should
a
should I go find
conversation
them?
piece there. I see you have
So
a conversation piece there.
Yeah, and anybody who's interested, I make these small magnets so that I can go. This is about the Telegram group. This is just skulls with hex.com on them in front of the dollar bill. And then,
Nice.
of course, I've got my moon sticker because I personally have been to the moon because of hex.com. It says hex.com at the bottom of that.
Awesome.
Yeah, should I use the last of my battery to go into Paul's office?
Let's go and see if we can say hi to him.
Here's the solar dehydrator, the original one that was built in the ATC course. That's appropriate technology course in 2017. I've got plans of this that I did on SketchUp, that design software.
I've seen it. I've seen your plans.
And so Paul markets this stuff, or my plans, on his website. The digital market is what they call it. So I've created PDF plans, and I don't have to do anything, and he markets it, and I basically get from like $60 to $120 per month added to my PayPal account because of what he's done.
That's like
Slash
better
what
than
I've done.
That's better than any
awesome.
NFT I know of, except for maybe HSIs.
So I just opened the door here.
Does it have the? It has the chimney on the back
Around the
wall.
corner.
Yes, it has a
Yeah.
chimney on its back wall, and then
Nice.
it's covered by that piece of glass. We didn't shape the glass. It was bought 2 pieces. It's shower glass so that it doesn't have any solar treatment to it. And then this other one was done by Uncle Mud, UncleMud.com. He's friends with Paul and comes out during the workshops. His name speaks for itself. He knows everything about messing with clay and mud. Real cool guy.
Awesome.
I think he's out of Ohio, but like we're here in Montana. Just a few months ago, I think it was February, he was down in Texas doing a workshop in Belton area. So that was just north of me on I-35. So, you know, the people who have these skills and knowledge and are bringing them to the forefront, they're doing a good job. It's starting to grow. And, you know, we can all say small world. In the Telegram chat yesterday, I posted a picture where we're right next to the outdoor shower with a wood-fired hot water heater. That was a fun little thing. Oh, I don't even have to go to his office. He's right here.
Oh my gosh. There
Of
is
course,
quick
he's
taco.
enjoying the great outdoors.
I'm on my live stream with my Hex friends. You want to say hi? There he is.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I've
just
seen you before.
2 guys?
Just us 2 guys, yeah. How's it
in
going,
the
sir?
chat. There's a couple people in the chat.
There's like 20 maybe people in the chat. Hey, your microphone got muted or something. Oh man, you did something and now you messed up the
We
sound.
lost the sound. Yeah.
Oh no. Davin is gonna
might have
do an
unplugged it.
interpretive dance about how awesome Google mounts are. Do it. Oh,
This is
buddy.
my Google mount.
What?
I'm gonna go build
Dude,
some more Google
you freaking
mounts.
you touched something and now we can't hear you.
Yeah. Can he hear? He can't hear
No,
us.
I don't know if you can hear us, but we are very disappointed, Davin. Maybe he overheard me from the computer. Oh man. It's one of those moments where you get to see Britney Spears and she's like just about to take her bikini off and then you throw up on your lap.
It's pre-ejaculation is what it is.
Oh yeah. What a freaking
I was able to hear
Huge
you the whole time.
disappointment.
What happened is I did the deadly no as I unplugged my headset and stuff, and I was thinking like
Yeah.
all we would experience is reverberation, but we can deal with that. But yeah, he couldn't hear us at all. And what am I supposed to do? Hand him one of my earplugs, dirty earplugs
Yeah.
to put in his.
Yeah, that would have been
So
funny.
Yeah.
he
Nobody wants
straight
to
up
put that in
he
your
straight
ear.
up asked, what should I do about my crypto? Should he buy more or wait? Where's it
Tell him
going?
to
Is what he said.
tell him to put $1,000 into Hex and stake it for 3 years. He has 3 years.
So
1,000
you
for
think he's
3
got
years.
3 years?
$1,000 he's gonna get. He's
At
gonna
what
get.
buy-in point?
No,
at
no.
Okay.
We're at minus 95% or something. There's no point in waiting for that, like half a penny or something more. $1,000 now, 3 to 5 years. That's a perfect way to get his feet into something that's actually crypto, that is actually decentralized and a riskless yield without like counterparty risk. It's gonna be freaking awesome. And tell
All
him
right.
to get his Bitcoin into
He
his
should
wallet.
DCA.
All right, Finbear, we're
He
gonna
should DCA
we're
that
gonna
1,000.
Why
we're
is
gonna
it full
cut
screen?
because
Full
we're gonna
screen me.
no, we're gonna cut this shit and I'm gonna clip it and I'm gonna send it
Oh
to
my
him.
god.
So
Okay.
pitch it, bitch.
So my advice to you, sir, is to take your Bitcoin into your own wallet. Maybe not buy more yet because we're still clearly going further down. But what you should do is you should put $1,000 into Hex and see what it feels like when you actually hold a decentralized cryptocurrency that is unstoppable, immutable, uncorruptible, and pays you yield every day. That's perfect because I've been in plenty of bear markets in crypto. That's why I'm called FinBear. And this is by far the best because I already decided I'm not gonna sell my Hex. So I staked it. I send it to myself in the future in effect. And I'm getting paid for doing it. I'm getting paid fresh Hex into my stake every day. That's so much better than just sitting on Bitcoin and watch it go down in value. Even though Hex has gone down in value a lot from 50 or almost 56 cents down to like 3 cents now, it's always made a new all-time high. So it's so much better to get paid while you're waiting. That's my advice to you. Get your Bitcoin into your own wallet and get a little bit of Hex.
Heck yeah.
$1,000 in Hex after the next bull market is gonna be worth more than what you've already put into Bitcoin.
If he's got time, he should dollar cost it and get used to like putting money in and taking money out.
I don't care. He needs to get some Hex.
Yeah. If he
Understand
just did
how
like
it works.
if he just did like $100 right now, and if it went down and he bought even lower, another $100, and then get used to like the concept of gas
It's not
prices,
going
right?
down any much more. Like we're already
But-
down 95%. There isn't much more room to go down.
But he's gonna learn a lot by dealing with the gas fees and the on ramp and off ramp. And then like when Pulse Chain does finally motherfucking come out, he'll be able to be excited
Yeah.
about not having to do the gas fees.
It's gonna
And
be great
it'll
once Pulse
be a
comes
good
out.
learning thing.
It's gonna be great once Pulse comes out. But like all you need is one stake. That stake cup is over. You have the $1,000, but now you have two stakes for your $1,000, and then both of them appreciate in value. You only pay one. You only pay one fee. You get your feet wet. $1,000 isn't gonna bankrupt most people. So that's because he already knows that cryptos are the way of the future.
Yeah, if he's already
They
in
definitely,
Bitcoin.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
now he just needs to see how DeFi works and what it means when you get paid for staking, how that works, and then once he sees how that works, then probably we're already that far along in this bear cycle that he notices that, hey, I actually have more hex now than when I did my stake, and then the price is gonna start running up, and then all of a sudden he's gonna realize that, hey, it's actually better to be up 30% on the price and then have like 50% more tokens. That's awesome. So my claim is that if you hold less than one Bitcoin and you put in $1,000 into Hex today and stake it for 3 to 5 years, your Hex bag is gonna be bigger in dollar terms than your Bitcoin bag once your stake comes out.
Yeah.
Bitfinesse is correct. This is the best bear market ever. I've never been this relaxed, even though the numbers go down.
Daraj is saying do it as soon as possible because that share rate is escaping.
Oh yeah, you
Because-
missed out a great story from D-Rush yesterday on Hex Agents.
Oh, okay, that's what it was then.
Yeah, the coconut story. Just
Yeah, it went a bit dark because in the joke, the dude falls out of the
tree
the tree and,
breaks
and
his neck.
D-Rush, and D-Rush was laughing because it was so funny for him.
Finbear mentioned the pulse chain double.
Yeah, that's a big deal as well. But for somebody like for somebody like somebody in his situation who's like clearly down money on Bitcoin at the moment, just throwing in bad money after the good money is not the optimal decision. So he's down on his investment in Bitcoin. Buying more Bitcoin doesn't change anything. He's not gonna pump the price.
Oren says, even my wife, who is super risk adverse, says that she has never felt more comfortable with an investment than with Hex and Pulse.
That sounds
Sweet.
very good, Orion.
That sounds like you're at a very comfortable place as well.
Yeah. And it's always easier if you're into permaculture because you know you're not gonna probably starve.
Yep. About 8 minutes more. I'm
Guys,
so happy that I was able to cover so much ground over here.
Yeah, I have to hop off. I promised to take my kid's friend home, and it's already getting pretty late over here. So
Well, let's just call it.
yeah,
Who wants to sign us off? Which one of you guys?
I could do it.
Go
Marcavelli is.
Finbear.
I don't want to put Marcavelli on the spot. Remember, Hexicans, it's your duty to feed your family. So, like, plant a potato, or you will go hungry this fall.
All right. See
Thanks,
you guys.
guys. See you guys later.
peace.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Marcavelli.